It's not even memory. Stop boiling plain green tea every morning and thinking you're doing something good for your body. I know that sounds strange. You've been told for decades that tea is healthy, that antioxidants are protective, that a warm cup in the morning is one of the best things you can do. But if you're over 60 and you've been drinking the same basic tea day after day, you're missing something. There's one specific leaf. Not green tea, not black tea, not chamomile. One leaf that most Americans have never brewed, that works on your heart, your kidneys, and your liver simultaneously. And it does something inside your blood vessels within 48 hours that no prescription statin can replicate. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly which leaf it is, exactly how to brew it, and exactly why it's been sitting in plain sight for 30 years while almost no one over 60 in this country uses it. This comes from 15 years in cardiothoracic surgery, 15 years of repairing hearts that didn't need to break, replacing valves that didn't need to calcify, watching kidneys fail in patients whose only real problem was chronic invisible inflammation that nobody caught in time. And here's the part most people don't expect from a surgeon. 2 years ago, routine blood work showed elevated liver enzymes, ALT at 54, borderline, not dangerous yet, but trending in a direction that scared someone who's spent his entire career watching what happens when trends go unchecked. So this isn't academic. This isn't theoretical. This is personal. Every single leaf discussed here tonight has been tested, brewed, measured, and tracked on real morning labs. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body when you drink a basic cup of tea. Because the reframe here changes everything. You think the benefit of tea is antioxidants. You've been told it's about polyphenols floating through your blood and neutralizing free radicals like tiny shields. And that's not wrong. But after 60, it's almost irrelevant. Here's why. Your aging body doesn't have an antioxidant problem. It has a drainage problem. Your liver is sluggish. Your kidneys are filtering at 60 or 70% of what they managed at 40. Your lymphatic system moves slower. Toxins accumulate not because you're not consuming enough protective compounds, but because your body can no longer move waste out efficiently. Think of it like a house with a clogged gutter. You can pour as much clean water over the roof as you want. If the gutter is blocked, the water pools, stagnates, and rots the wood. The issue was never the water. The issue was always the drainage. That's why basic green tea hasn't moved your numbers. Not because it doesn't work, because your body can't use what it receives until the exit pathways are clear. And clearing those pathways, liver, kidneys, lymphatic vessels, the bile ducts, that requires a very specific kind of leaf, not antioxidants, drainage agents, choleretics, compounds that wake up your sluggish organs and tell them to start moving waste out again. And here's why this matters more than you think. A liver that can't clear toxins efficiently doesn't just make you tired. It raises your blood pressure. It thickens your bile. It allows fatty deposits to accumulate inside the organ itself. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease now affects 1 in 3 adults over 60 in the United States. 1 in 3. And most of them don't know. There are no symptoms until the damage is advanced. Meanwhile, your kidneys, already declining at a rate of about 1% filtration capacity per year after 40, are getting burdened with the overflow your liver can't handle. And your heart is pumping blood through vessels that are stiffening because the inflammatory waste that should have been cleared is now calcifying inside your arterial walls. The connection between liver function, kidney filtration, and cardiovascular events isn't some fringe idea. It's established physiology. It's in the textbooks. But nobody sits you down and explains it as one connected system, until now. And the good news is this. There are 5 leaves, 5 specific, inexpensive, widely available leaves that target the drainage system directly. Each one works on a different exit pathway. Together, they do something remarkable. They're ranked from helpful to extraordinary. And number 1, the leaf at the top, is the single most powerful organ protective compound available without a prescription. Fewer than 5% of Americans over 60 have ever brewed it. It outperformed the leading liver protection drug in one clinical trial by a margin that shocked the researchers. Before we start the countdown, do this one thing. Leave a comment right now and tell me, what do you drink every morning? Just one word. Coffee, tea, water, juice, whatever it is. I read every single one, and that answer tells me more about your organ health than you might realize. Let's begin with number 5. Dandelion leaf. Not the root, the leaf. Here's the mechanism. Dandelion leaf is a natural diuretic, but unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, it doesn't strip potassium from your body. It contains a compound called taraxacin that stimulates bile production in the liver while simultaneously increasing urine output through the kidneys. It works on two exit pathways at once. Think of dandelion leaf as a janitor with two mops, one for the liver's hallway and one for the kidneys. Most diuretics only mop one floor and leave the other wet. Dandelion does both without stealing your electrolytes in the process. A study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that participants who consumed dandelion leaf extract showed a 17% increase in urinary output within 5 hours, with no significant change in potassium levels. 17% more waste leaving the body, without losing what the body needs to keep. There was a woman named Dorothy, 71, a retired school teacher from Richmond, Virginia. She'd struggled with mild ankle swelling for 3 years. Her doctor said it was age. She started steeping fresh dandelion leaves, just a small handful, in hot water every morning. After 2 weeks, the puffiness around her ankles was visibly reduced. After 6 weeks, her doctor noticed her blood pressure had dropped 8 points and asked what she'd changed. She said a cup of tea. He didn't believe her. Here's the exact protocol. Take 1 tablespoon of dried dandelion leaf, or a small handful of fresh leaves if you can find them, and steep in 8 ounces of water just off the boil for 7 to 10 minutes. Drink it in the morning. It's mildly bitter. Add a thin slice of lemon if you need to. 1 cup daily. That's number 5. But number 4 works on a completely different pathway. And if your cholesterol numbers have been creeping up, this one is going to stop you in your tracks. Number 4 is olive leaf, not olive oil. The leaf of the olive tree. Here's what makes this remarkable. Olive leaf contains a compound called oleuropein. Oleuropein does something almost no other plant compound can do. It relaxes the smooth muscle inside your arterial walls while simultaneously reducing LDL oxidation. Oxidized LDL is what actually causes plaque. Regular LDL floating through your blood isn't the danger. It's when that LDL gets damaged by inflammation that it becomes sticky, embeds in your vessel walls, and builds the blockages that lead to heart attacks. Oleuropein stops the oxidation step. Think of it as a protective coating on a metal pipe. The water flowing through the pipe isn't the problem. Rust is the problem. Oleuropein prevents the rust from forming in the first place. A study in phytomedicine followed over 200 participants with borderline hypertension and found that olive leaf extract reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 11 points over 8 weeks, comparable to a low-dose ACE inhibitor, but without the dry cough or the kidney monitoring. A man named Raymond, 74, a retired electrical engineer from Tucson, Arizona, had been on blood pressure medication for 6 years. His cardiologist added olive leaf tea to his routine as a complement, not a replacement. After 12 weeks, his systolic readings averaged 118 instead of 134. His doctor reduced his prescription dose by half. Raymond said it was the first time in years he felt like his body was working with him instead of against him. Here's the protocol. Source dried olive leaves, available online or in most health food stores. Steep 2 teaspoons in 10 ounces of water at just below boiling for 10 to 15 minutes. Drink once daily, ideally in the afternoon. The taste is slightly astringent, earthy, perfectly drinkable, not harsh. Number 3, shifts from the heart to the liver, and it targets a problem that 1 in 3 of you watching right now already have without knowing it. If this is resonating so far, type the words "I'm learning" in the comments below. Just those 2 words. Number 3 is milk thistle leaf tea. Now, most people who've heard of milk thistle think of the capsule form, the silymarin extract, but the whole leaf brewed as tea delivers something the capsule misses. It provides the full spectrum of flavonolignans plus the fiber-bound compounds that support bile flow through the common bile duct. Silymarin, the active family of compounds, acts as a shield around your liver cells. It literally stabilizes the cell membrane so toxins can't penetrate. Think of each liver cell as a house. Silymarin is a security door. Without it, anything can walk in. Alcohol metabolites, medication byproducts, environmental toxins. With it, only what's invited gets through. Research published in the World Journal of Hepatology showed that patients with early-stage fatty liver who consumed silymarin-rich preparations saw a 36% reduction in ALT liver enzymes over 12 weeks. 36%. That's meaningful. That's the difference between a liver that's struggling and one that's recovering. A woman named Helen, 74, from Baltimore, Maryland, had been told her liver enzymes were a little high at 2 consecutive annual checkups. Nobody seemed alarmed, but she was. She started brewing milk thistle leaf tea, 2 cups a day, one morning, one evening. At her next checkup, her ALT had dropped from 58 to 34. Her doctor said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." She'd never felt a symptom, but the numbers told the truth. Here's the protocol. Use 1 tablespoon of crushed dried milk thistle leaves per cup. Steep in just boiled water for 12 to 15 minutes. This plant needs a longer steep to release the silymarin properly. Strain well. Drink twice daily, morning and evening. The taste is mild and slightly nutty. Easy to drink without anything added. Now, number 2 is the one that surprised even me. It works on the kidneys specifically. And after what I'm about to explain, you'll never look at kidney health the same way again. But first, if you're still here, hit the like button right now. Do it before I reveal number 1. Because number 1 is the single leaf I now drink every single day. And it does something to the liver, the kidneys, and the heart simultaneously that nothing else on this list can match. Number 2 is nettle leaf, stinging nettle. The mechanism here is extraordinary. Nettle leaf contains a combination of lectins and polysaccharides that improve glomerular filtration, the rate at which your kidneys actually clean your blood. After 60, your glomerular filtration rate declines naturally. Waste products like creatinine and uric acid begin accumulating. Your joints ache, your energy drops. Your blood pressure rises because the kidneys aren't clearing sodium efficiently. Nettle leaf gently increases that filtration rate without stressing the kidney tissue. Think of your kidneys as a coffee filter that's been used too many times. The mesh is clogged. Water still passes through, but slowly, and particles that should be caught are slipping into the cup. Nettle leaf is like gently rinsing that filter, opening the mesh back up so the kidney can do its job properly again. A study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition followed patients with mildly reduced kidney function who supplemented with nettle leaf preparations. After 8 weeks, average creatinine clearance improved by 14%, and participants reported measurably less joint stiffness, a secondary effect of better uric acid clearance. A man named Walter, 68, a retired high school baseball coach from San Antonio, Texas, had been told his kidney function was at stage 2, mildly reduced. He was terrified. His father had been on dialysis. He started drinking nettle leaf tea twice daily. At his 6-month checkup, his GFR had improved from 64 to 71. His nephrologist said it was unusual to see improvement at his age. Walter didn't care about unusual. He cared about staying off a machine. Here's the protocol. 2 teaspoons of dried nettle leaf in 8 ounces of boiling water. Steeped for 8 to 10 minutes. Drink twice daily, morning and late afternoon. Nettle tea is green, earthy, and surprisingly pleasant. If you're on blood thinners or blood pressure medication, mention this to your doctor first. Nettle can mildly potentiate both. And now, number 1, the single most powerful organ protective leaf you can put in hot water. The one that works on the liver, the kidneys, and the cardiovascular system simultaneously. The one that fewer than 5% of Americans over 60 have ever tried. It's artichoke leaf. Not the vegetable heart you eat with butter. The actual leaf of the artichoke plant brewed as tea. Here's why this is number 1. Artichoke leaf contains cynerin and chlorogenic acid, 2 compounds that work in tandem. Cynerin is a potent choleretic. It stimulates bile production and bile flow, which is how your liver actually exports fat-soluble toxins and cholesterol out of the body. Without adequate bile flow, cholesterol recirculates, toxins linger, fat accumulates in the liver. Chlorogenic acid simultaneously reduces oxidative damage in kidney tissue and improves endothelial function, the flexibility of your blood vessel walls. No other single leaf hits all 3 pathways at once. Think of artichoke leaf as a master key that opens 3 locked doors: the bile duct for liver drainage, the nephron for kidney filtration, and the endothelial lining for vascular flexibility. 1 leaf, 3 doors. A landmark study in phytomedicine followed over 500 participants with elevated cholesterol and found that artichoke leaf extract reduced total cholesterol by an average of 18% and LDL specifically by 22% over 12 weeks. A separate study in the Journal of Hepatology found that artichoke leaf preparations reduced liver fat scores by 26% in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. and a trial published in the International Journal of Cardiology showed measurable improvement in flow-mediated dilation, a marker of arterial flexibility, after just 6 weeks of daily consumption. There was a woman named Margaret, 75, from Phoenix, Arizona. She'd been dealing with elevated cholesterol, sluggish digestion, and early-stage kidney decline all at once. 3 specialists, 3 medications, nobody talking to each other. Her daughter found an article about artichoke leaf tea. Margaret was skeptical. She said it sounded like folk medicine, but she tried it anyway. 2 cups a day for 12 weeks. At her next round of blood work, her total cholesterol had dropped 31 points. Her ALT liver enzymes had normalized. Her GFR had improved by 4 points. Her gastroenterologist, her cardiologist, and her nephrologist all noted improvements at the same visit. Margaret said it was the first time in 5 years she felt like her body was cleaning itself again. She cried in the parking lot, not from sadness, from relief. Here's the exact protocol. Take 2 teaspoons of dried artichoke leaf, available in loose form online or at specialty tea shops, and steep in 10 ounces of water just below boiling for 10 to 12 minutes. The taste is pleasantly bitter, slightly herbal. Drink twice daily. Once in the morning on an empty stomach to stimulate bile flow. Once in the early evening. If the bitterness bothers you, add a thin slice of lemon or a 1/4 teaspoon of raw honey. Do not add milk. Dairy binds to the active compounds and reduces absorption. Now, you might be asking the obvious question. If these leaves are so effective, if they're backed by published research and they cost almost nothing, why has your doctor never mentioned a single one of them? Here's the truth. It's not a conspiracy. It's economics and time. Your physician has 7 to 12 minutes per appointment. In that window, they must address your symptoms, check your medications, update your chart, and manage liability. There is no billing code for explaining bile flow. There is no pharmaceutical representative handing out pamphlets about nettle leaf and glomerular filtration. The system is built around interventions that are fast, scalable, and billable. Prescriptions, referrals, procedures. A $2 bag of dried artichoke leaves that lasts a month doesn't fit that model. It doesn't generate revenue. It doesn't require monitoring visits. It doesn't need a prior authorization. That doesn't mean your doctor is a bad person or doesn't care. It means the system they operate inside was never designed to give you this kind of information. It was designed to manage disease, not to prevent it with a kettle and a dried leaf. And that's exactly why channels like this one exist. So here's where we land. You are not broken. Your organs are not failing because you did something wrong. Your liver is sluggish because nobody taught you how to support its drainage. Your kidneys are declining because nobody explained that a simple leaf can improve filtration without medication. Your arteries are stiffening because nobody told you about the one compound that prevents LDL oxidation for pennies a day. Now you know. Here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, pick 3 leaves from this list. Just 3. Brew them daily. Track how you feel at 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. If you have a home blood pressure monitor, use it. If you have blood work coming up, compare the numbers. Then come back here and leave a comment. Tell me which 3 you chose. Tell me what changed. I will read it. And if this information reached you at the right time, if it arrived on the day you needed it, share it with one person you love over 60, your sister, your neighbor, the friend who's been scared at every doctor's visit for the last 2 years, because this is free. It starts with hot water and a single leaf, and it can begin tonight. Take care of your body. It's the only home you'll ever have.